Namaste friends, I'm your host Crypto Gurkha and welcome to the 4th episode of Talk Season 2. On this episode I met up with Louthing from Matchbox DAO. Louthing and I already were talking about doing an episode and we finally managed to meet in Lisbon. We talked about the environments of on-chain gaming and Matchbox DAO itself. So, the question is, Louthing, tell us something about on-chain gaming. Here's the intro. So, namaste guys, welcome to the 4th episode of Walk the Talk. I managed to get a spontaneous episode with Louthing, Head of Growth at Matchbox DAO. Thank you for your time.
Thank you to you.
So we're nearby the venue of our Starknet CZ. So without further ado, let's walk and talk.
Let's go.
So tell me something about you. Who are you? How did you get into crypto? Give us a short introduction.
Well, so I'm Louthing. I've been in crypto for the past, I would say 6 to 7 years. I mean, more 7 years now. I was very classical. I got pretty much at the same time as my brother. He was very into cryptography. I was more into very classical, holding some Bitcoin, some ETH, playing around with some altcoin as well. Nothing very special. I mean, then I deep dive within the French community, being very active there. I ended up being one of the administrators of the largest crypto community in France. I mean, one of them. Then I ended up being part of the investment team of one of the largest crypto VC in Europe, backing projects such as I would say like One Hinge, Celo, Near, Dapple Labs, Flow, Arweave, YGG also on the gaming side, and a bunch of others. Not to mention all of them. But I mean, I've been very into ZKP for a very long time. I mean, again, my brother being very into cryptography since 2017 with Zcash, etc. All those things. Then he joined me. So basically, very into it. So I just wanted to deep dive into ZK. And then the best use case for ZK at this point is on-chain games. I mean, because Starknet allows. I mean, we don't only do Starknet. Like we don't only use Starknet, but at first Starknet and ZKP in general allows to put game fully on chains, which is like amazing, which is not currently the case today. But basically, maybe you guys want to have a very quick definition of like what I mean by on-chain games, right?
Yeah, but before we go to on-chain games, could you maybe tell us what are you exactly doing at Matchbox DAO?
Okay.
So that's where you're basically...
So what we are doing?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so basically we are like the largest community of on-chain gaming developers. We're aiming at building the infrastructure of games that are fully on-chain. So basically we help teams, we just stimulate the environment, make it work. I mean, we're again mostly based on Starknet, like 95% of what we do today is Starknet. But again, we don't only aim at staying there. But basically it's mainly Starknet. It's mainly Starknet now. So that's basically what we do. And so we aim at empowering the entire ecosystem, providing stuff to the teams. We organize hackathons to have teams build a project on Starknet, gaming project. But I think I need to explain our thesis first, just to keep going on what we do. So basically, our thesis is very simple. Like we believe the same way DeFi became that big, became what it was because of full composability. And we believe the same will happen with gaming. I mean, today games are. I mean, when you take games like I don't know, Steppen, Axie, it's like 90% off-chain logic with maybe like a 10% like on-chain like mechanism. So it's not really like Web3 games when you mean it. So basically, fully on-chain games are games that are fully on-chain, which means that each component of the game is on-chain. So you can basically divide the game into every primitive that is what the game is composed of. So everything is on chain. So basically from the gameplay to the AMM, if it's a marketplace, if there is a marketplace in the game, including also the music tooling, if there is some kind of a music effect in the game when you play the game. So everything can be divided into separate and small bricks, and you can allow anybody any developers to be able to pick any brick that exists and plug it into his own game. So you can build a game in the fraction of the time.
Sorry, just let's go over
Sure.
the
So basically, you can build a game in the fraction of the time you would have needed if you had to do it by yourself. So that will empower and accelerate much faster the entire that way.
Yeah, this way.
The entire environment of games, and also since everything is open source, you just leverage and you benefit from compound effects of all the developers working on the same primitive, on the same bricks. So you will always keep, all the bricks that exist will always be improved. So you will have an amazing, very high quality brick that exists, and it's gonna develop super fast. So that's the main thesis, and we believe, and contrary to DeFi, it's like basically there's infinite potential dApps, like DeFi when it comes, after you have done some lending, some borrowing, maybe some options, some derivatives, you have basically done everything. It's quite limited, which is not the case in gaming.
So basically, you could say literally every movement is on-chain, from jumping, fighting, swords, equipment, and so forth. How will, for example, a sword be represented on an on-chain game?
What do you mean?
A utility in an in-game utility, so
I mean,
to
it
speak.
doesn't change much. It's just a matter of just how you build the game. But
Okay.
the whole thing is, you just pointed something very interesting. Is you mean every action of the game is on chain. So what you would do usually is you would just go and you would have to sign every action you do.
Yes.
And with sign allow, you have a kind of abstraction which allows to set up in advance some kind of predetermined and to automate and not having to sign every transaction. So that's another thing that we can do on Starknet, which is super helpful because you cannot imagine playing a game properly with having to sign
Maybe
every.
let's sit here to
I think I'm missing a bit of breath because it's.
Yeah, let's sit down here.
It's very steep.
Yeah.
I need to.
Let's have a nice rest
to train my stamina.
All right.
Yeah. So that's basically the thesis. And what we concretely do, we try to build up this infrastructure by doing investments. So just having teams. Invest in teams that we believe in to just build a stack of on-chain games. We also aim at organizing events with hackathon. We also aim at being some kind of the UFC of the on-chain game infrastructure, which is something that we are exploring now, which is super interesting. So basically, how to start it. So basically, sport athletes have always been superstars to us. Football, basketball, even tennis or whatever.
Someone to look up.
Yeah, they are the athletes. They are the stars, and so basically they're the big market. They make a lot of money, and time after time, you have seen many other stacks that evolve that just have been created. So basically, the gaming ecosystem. 15 years ago. If you were a good gamer, you just couldn't make any money out of it. There was no market for gaming. Today, with the words of League of Legends, the best gamers, they make so much money. They fill stadiums. They have so many viewers in their streams. It's a massive market. The gaming industry is a massive market. The team are super professional. It's massive. The idea, in the same way, also UFC, 30 years ago, it was nothing, and then they build up some kind of storytelling around it, some kind of early story around it, and now it's super cool. It's super cool to watch MMA. So basically, what we aim at doing is the same way. With the time, our models, our heroes change from athletes to fighters to gamers. We believe the next move is going to be developers. So we aim at creating the stack of games for developers. So basically, the idea is the same way as described before for UFC. Is if we can set up. Have you heard of OX Monaco? The OX Monaco?
No.
So basically, it's like a CTF designed. Made by Paradigm and designed by Nesselmine. It was a massive success. So a CTF captures the flag. The whole idea was just to have developers to fight into it was like some kind of a race, whatever. Not getting into details, but it was a game where developers just had to build up a strategy to actually win the game, and that's super cool because developers become like athlete in a way. Like their strategy, they are the gamers through their skills. And if you can organize, if you can create some kind of storytelling, if you can just create some kind of event where you will have commentators to comment like the game, like explaining what like the developer has been doing, we believe this is going to be like a new massive thing. The same way gaming became super big. If you can have developers to fight against each other, we believe it's gonna be super massive. Because today we don't have really tools to have like how do you say to have like developers to fight against each other.
How many developer athletes, so to speak, do you have currently in your
So I mean, so that's a new thing. Like we're gonna launch the next season of OX Monaco. We're gonna just do the season 2 of OX Monaco. I think maybe probably beginning of December. It's not set yet. So this is quite new. It's still being in process, but like we have great backers. We have a great structure to do it. We're gonna have commentators to comment, to explain, to curate basically what's going on, like to the pleb finally. Like the pleb, they don't know anything about developing.
Like a live stream more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they will think what's going on, or what
will
he
you
has
commentate?
done. I don't know. Like we'll see. But that's the idea.
Okay.
Basically, what we are doing now, we have a lot of investments. So a lot of promising games that we have backed. Not to mention all of them. Very promising one, Odyssey is one of them. Louthing that you may know, guys. Obviously, Dark Forest was a big thing. I mean, we don't invest. I mean, it's not part of our portfolio, but still, it's one of the very promising on-chain games. You have a focus tree as well, which is good. And I mean, there are a bunch of really very cool teams. There is also No Game, a bunch of very promising. Also Acorn, my bad, Acorn, which is phenomenal.
Shorter than Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas, exactly. You know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So that's basically a sample of the teams that we are backing, and very promising, building on-chain games.
What are you personally looking forward for? Which on-chain game? Besides, Matchbox DAO, you as a individual.
That's a good one. I see on-chain games. I mean, games that free on-chain are not good by itself. It's good because what it can provide in terms of it can, as I described before, it will help allow to like it would just allow anybody to pick the brick that exists and just over time always increase the quality of the existing bricks. The same way like Dark Forest, it has been forked like so many times. Can you imagine a game where people can just build on top of it? It's amazing. Like, can you imagine a GTA or like I don't know, like a Fortnite where anybody could just like add a feature on top of it?
Expand it.
Yeah. For instance, we organized an hackathon beginning of the month in October, and we had like I think 10 teams building on top of 3 arms. So just adding whether characters, adding like stuff in the universe, and actually the Realm teams are going to implement many of those projects. So it's amazing to have an infinite set of developers to be able to just improve what exists and bring some kind of a value adds to the existing project. So yeah, again, we're about 10 teams that build on top of Realms, and it's gonna provide so much value for them, for the teams, and also for the Louthing teams, and also for the team that build the extensions.
What do you believe will happen on Starknet regarding like on-chain gaming space? What are the next steps gonna be?
Okay, that's a good one. I mean, Starknet is still very premature. I think it's going super fast. It's a super strong ecosystem. I mean, like you can talk to all of them. Like the people that build there, they all talk about the tech. They're super passionate. I mean, we believe.
Gigabrains.
What?
Gigabrains.
Exactly. So it's really exciting. I mean, it's going super fast. It's still very niche. There's some kind of a filter a barrier to entry, which is learning Cairo, which also provides all the noise from a scanning project. So it acts as a kind of filtering, so it's really good. Like you have so many projects, and how I see the futures, it will always depend on like all the new things, Cairo one, I mean all the new versions that are gonna come. But basically, yeah, let's see. It's still very very early. We don't have much to. The only thing I can say is the ground is super fertile. Yeah, but I'm super optimistic, and not no, just I was about to make a joke, but whatever. No, but optimistic roll-ups, whatever.
Yeah.
No, I'm very optimistic about like how the ecosystem is going to grow. I'm just very curious to see how it's going to happen, because it's again we're not ready yet, but yeah, very promising ecosystem at least.
Yeah, we're all looking forward what will happen in the future with Starknet. And with that being said, thank you very much for your time. This should be it with the episode here at Walk the Talk. And yo guys, I will add in all the information you need once again down below. Follow him on Instagram. Oh, Instagram, my bad. Twitter. And yeah.
Discord as well.
Discord, I'll share all the.
And we also
links.
provide a lot of content. Like we write a lot of articles to educate people. So feel free, if you're a developer, you can always join our hackathon, our gaming tournaments like we're gonna do anytime soon. Just check out Twitter, Discord, and you'll have all the updates. And you can always reach out to the team.
Yeah. All right then. Thank you guys, and goodbye.